Welcome back to Q Dads, guys, and yes, it's me, Ben. And you might have noticed, I'm here in person. Yes, we've got a new little setup and we're hoping to kind of bring you some new content over the next few weeks. I've even got a little cup of tea, so I'm in a zone of comfort just for you guys. Obviously, we want to start bringing some different content to the channel. You know, we care about you as our viewers, so we want to do a little bit more. But of course, let's get straight to the point because today we are discussing Tron with Tron Ares coming this October. And again, literally right around the corner. Now, it's time to go over everything that we need to know from the original 1982 classic of Tron all the way to Tron Legacy and how both films might connect to what's coming next. So let's start right at the beginning. The first Tron dropped in 1982 and honestly, it changed cinema forever. Now, back then, computer graphics were practically unheard of, and Disney took a massive gamble making a film that was half live action and half early CGI. You know, people weren't used to seeing an entire sequence built with computers, and it was so ahead of its time that some critics didn't know what to make of it. But of course, looking back now, you can clearly see how Tron opened the door to the digital age of filmmaking. The story follows Kevin Flynn, a programmer who discovers Encom, the corporation that he used to work for, and of course they stole his work. Now, while trying to hack into their system and expose the truth, he's literally digitalised into the company's supercomputer, and once inside, the rules of reality are essentially flipped. Programs look like people, they act like people, but they live under the control of the master control program. A ruthless AI running the digital world like a dictatorship. And this is where we first meet Tron, a security program cleared by Flynn's friend Alan. Now together, Flynn and Tron try to survive, fight back, and ultimately take down the MCP. Now, looking at the visuals, they were revolutionary for its time. You've got glowing suits, the minimalistic but futuristic landscapes, those neon grids. It's instantly recognisable even today. And of course, the light cycle battles, the trails of light cutting across the arena, boxing opponents in until they are de-resed. Now, even if you've never seen the full movie, you've probably seen that scene or a very similar one. You know, for me, I think it was one of the coolest sequences from the 80s. Now, if I'm being really honest, it hasn't aged very well at all, but at the time, it was almost perfection. So fast forward almost 3 decades later, and we get Tron Legacy in 2010, which updated the grid for modern audiences. Now, instead of this flat geometric designs of the 80s, we got a neon-drenched, sprawling cityscape. It was slick, it was stylish, and you know what? Paired with Daft Punk's iconic soundtrack, it gave Tron a whole new identity. So this story is centred on Sam Flynn, Kevin's son, who discovers his dad has been missing for years. When Sam investigates, he's pulled into the grid himself. But the world he finds isn't one that his father built. Instead, Kevin's old digital double, Clue, has seized power. He's obsessed with creating a perfect system. Clue has turned the grid into a brutal dictatorship, bending everything to his will. Now again, the visuals were mind-blowing. The light cycle battle was back, but of course, updated. This time, the ground itself shattered beneath the racers, with the pieces of the arena crumbling away into glowing shards. It was breathtaking. And then the finale hit hard. Kevin sacrificing himself to take down Clue, allowing Sam and Cora to escape into the real world. And Cora, of course, she wasn't just any program. She was an ISO, an isomorphic algorithm. Basically a program that was created by humans but emerged spontaneously inside the grid. A self-created digital life form, you could say. Her escaping into reality was huge. Because for the first time, a program had crossed into the human world, and that moment sets up endless possibilities for the sequels. So of course, that brings us on to Tron Ares. Now, this time, the story takes an even bigger leap, following Ares, which of course is played by Jared Leto, a program that is sent from the grid into the real world. Now, that alone is groundbreaking for this series. We've seen humans go into the grid before, but we've never seen it the other way around. So the big question is, what does a program want in our world? Do they integrate with us, replace us, or is Ares just the beginning of a much bigger shift? And here's where the speculation starts. So some fans believe that Ares isn't just any program, but might carry part of Flynn's code, or even the remnants of Clue's logic. And if that's true, then he could either be humanity's saviour or its biggest threat. Now imagine, with the intelligence of Flynn, but the obsession of Clue walking around in the real world, that is terrifying. Now, we also know that Jeff Bridges is back as Kevin Flynn, and that's massive. You know, will he act as almost like a guide for Ares, like a mentor, showing him how to navigate reality? Or is there a darker twist? Could Flynn have his own hidden agenda, preparing humanity for the inevitable clash between AI and humans? And then there's the visual side, of course. The trailers we've seen so far promise a much darker, grittier tone. Now, the slick, clean neon lines of Legacy are gone, and Ares looks more tactile, more industrial, with glowing red energy cutting across the real world locations. It is unbelievable. It feels like the grid is literally bleeding into reality. The action, of course, looks more visceral too. Light cycles tearing through cities, battles where digital and physical collide. It feels like a digital playground and more like a war spilling into our world, which I really do think it is. Now, on top of that, we have the score, 9 Inch Nails. And if you've heard their past work, then you know this film is going to sound intense, dark, atmospheric, and probably even a little bit haunting too. Perfect for a story about AI stepping into reality. It's a shift from Daft Punk's sleek electronic beats, and it tells me that the film is going somewhere heavier. Now, of course, another theory floating around is that Cora will play a big role again. Since she was the first program to cross into reality, she may represent humanity's only way to connect with Ares. Could she be the key to bridging the gap between two worlds? Or could Ares see her as a threat? Proof that programs can evolve beyond what they were designed to be. And of course, the big question is Ares coming to save us or replace us? Will he become a protector of this, you know, almost like a digital messiah? Or is he a warning that once programs escape the grid, they'll no longer need us at all? And that's why Tron Ares feels so exciting. You know, it's not just another sequel, it's expanding the story in ways the first two films only hinted at. From Flynn's sacrifice to Cora's escape, it feels like everything has been leading to this moment. Now, Ares stepping into our world could completely change what Tron means as a franchise. But of course, I'm super excited for the film. I am going to be watching it in a few weeks' time. But what do you guys think? Is Ares humanity's ally, or is it his downfall? Will Flynn return as a wise mentor, or could he again be hiding a darker secret? And most importantly, will we finally see what happens when the grid and the real world collide? And of course, guys, that's me. I'm Ben. This is Q Dads. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time with something new.